What happened when you sent your child to summer camp? My 11-year-old son begged for months to attend camp with his friends, but 3 days in he called crying that he'd hit his head badly and nobody would help him. Dad, I can't see straight and I keep throwing up, he sobbed over the phone. I immediately called the camp office. A woman answered, sounding bored. How can I help you? I explained my son had a head injury and was vomiting. Kids get nauseous from too much sun. He's fine, she said flatly. I told her he said he couldn't see straight. Sir, 11-year-olds are dramatic. He fell off the climbing wall and wants mommy. She hung up on me mid-sentence. I called back slightly annoyed 5 minutes later. Please, I need the camp director now, I begged. She's busy, the same woman said. My son has a head injury, I screamed. She put me on hold for 20 minutes, then she hung up. My wife was sobbing when I called a third time. She grabbed the phone from me. Get someone in charge now or I'm calling 911. The woman sighed like we'd ruined her day. Fine, I'll get her. The director finally came on, sounding annoyed. What's this about? My wife's voice cracked. Our son hit his head. He's vomiting. His vision is blurry. These are concussion symptoms. Your son is homesick and wants attention, she said calmly. I've been running camps for 15 years. I know fake injuries. I grabbed the phone back. Can the nurse just check him at least, please? Our nurse handles real emergencies, not tantrums, she snapped and hung up. An hour passed. Our son called again, slurring his words. His friend had snuck him a phone because counselors took his away. Dad, where am I? He whispered. I threw up blood. My wife collapsed into a chair. We called the director directly on her cell, which we'd found online. You again? She answered, eating something crunchy. Look, your kid climbed without waiting for safety setup. Kids who don't follow rules get hurt. My wife screamed into the phone. He's throwing up blood. Ma'am, kids eat red popsicles and think it's blood. We have 200 kids here. We can't baby yours. She hung up mid-sob. Our son's friend texted us a photo. His pupils were clearly different sizes, and dried blood was visible around his nose. I was dialing 911 when we called the camp one last time. The director answered, furious. If you call again, your son is going home. That's what we want, I shouted. Then come get him, she said. But he's not getting a refund. Other kids were telling counselors he'd passed out twice, but the director had moved him to an empty cabin because he was disrupting activities with his moaning. The camp was 3 hours away. We didn't care. We drove those 3 hours in two, speeding the entire way. When we arrived, our son was lying on the hall steps, barely conscious. Another camper was trying to keep him awake. The director came storming over. You can't just show up without checking in at the office. We ignored her completely and carried our son to the car. The ER doctors immediately called for a trauma team. They rushed him for CT scans while asking rapid-fire questions. How long ago did this happen? The doctor asked. About 5 hours, we said. The entire trauma team stopped and stared at us. The neurosurgeon showed us the scan results looking pale. He had blood pooling between his brain and skull. The pressure on his brain is already dangerous, she said quietly. Another hour or two, and we'd be looking at permanent brain damage or death. He needed immediate surgery to drain the blood and relieve pressure. We spent that night in the ICU, watching monitors track his brain activity while machines helped him breathe. The next morning, armed with brain scans, surgical reports, and documentation from child services, we drove back to the camp. The director was at the registration desk, training new counselors. She saw us and actually smiled. Oh, you're back! Deciding to give camp another try, I placed the brain scan images on her desk. The dark pool of blood pressing against his brain was clearly visible. Actually, we're here to inform you that state inspectors will be arriving within the hour. Her smile vanished as she saw the scans. This is what a real injury looks like, my wife said. Not attention-seeking. The office assistant from yesterday came over, saw the images, and went pale. We didn't know it was that bad, the director stammered. He seemed fine after climbing. 3 counselors confirmed they told you he passed out. The director started backing away. Kids exaggerate symptoms. The 7 kids who gave statements to the police say otherwise, my wife said. New counselors were now staring at the brain scans in horror. The state already has 6 other injury reports from this summer. The director tried to gather the images. Let's discuss this privately. No, I said loudly. The camp was shut down within 48 hours.